Welcome to Uspl after such a long time. It's so great to be back after this gap, but it's the summer and it's back to the college season. We are here back on Uspl with another lively bunch of youngsters who are just chilling out by Subway, a favorite hangout spot here in the city, in Nungambakkam as well. Now, in this summer, while many have planned for long vacations and long trips and camps and whatnot, there are these crucial times of internship that really define the student's life, which kind of helps and bolsters someone's CV maybe, and maybe even leading to one taking up a job with a particular company. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about with this gang here. They are from the Isaac group, and we are going to be talking about internships, whether the whole funda of good internships are really there, whether it's really rare here in Chennai, or whether it's really an easy chalta hai attitude that one treats it with here in Chennai as well. I'm going to start with you, Juhi. Internship for a student like you, who's in your college life, is it really important? With how much of importance do you see it? Do you think it has to be mandatory for a student like you?
I'm being very honest. I think in the beginning, when I just started with college, I thought an internship was really important, and it's really something which someone should do when they're in college and things like that. But once that I am in college and it was made mandatory, it was something like it was forced onto me, and
a sort of reluctance.
Yeah, and I didn't really see the point of it, because you go there and you're doing practically the same thing. You're learning from someone else. You don't get to see too much of a practical exposure as such. So that's my take on internships. I don't see it being too very helpful to someone my age.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Could be a valid reason from her side, because there might be too many internships. But for some people, there's just one internship at the final year, so that they really greet it with arms wide open. Do you think students on the whole take internships seriously, or is it just a playful kind of hangout session, another hangout session maybe?
I actually don't know if they do, but I think they should actually.
Okay. Why so?
See, internships, first of all, you gain experience, all right? So experience is something which is priceless. I mean, you don't want a stipend for experience. I mean, experience is better than anything else. So I think students should take it in a positive way and inculcate the habit of internships every summer break or something, or even winter or something.
Right. Nowadays everybody is very career minded. I mean, you can't blame them. We need to be thinking about what the future lies like. Narendran, do you think in a way internships kind of bolster your resume in a sense, because if you have these many companies that you've worked with, kind of sets a good image with your recruiter perhaps?
I completely agree with you, because getting real world experience in a big company can really bolster your CV when you're applying for masters abroad or you're applying for another job. The recommendation letters or the references which you earn during your internship really go a long way in pushing forward your career.
Right.
So they're really important that way.
All right. But I also get this kind of feedback that, sometimes students are taken for a ride. They need to do a lot of research work maybe in the first few days, a lot of menial tasks. Do you think employers kind of also take advantage of the fact that, hey, you're a newbie, you're the youngest in the gang, so give him all the work that we can?
I mean, you can't blame the employers for that, simply because, most students who apply for internships rather go. Being frank, first of all, the biggest drawback of internships, say, in our country is basically the fact that companies don't have a proper structure in place to recruit interns. Like, say, for example, I know a couple of NGOs where, like, say, for CRI, they have such a structure in place where they take in NGOs where they go through rigorous tasks and then they're shortlisted.
This is an internship?
Yeah, for an internship itself. And
Right.
it's not even a technical internship. I mean, it's just a normal internship where you help the community or society.
Right.
And the other thing about companies is that, most of the kids who get into internships are recommended. That's one way where you can get into, big shot companies. You talk about glamour in your CVs.
Right.
All these glamorous companies, you walk in and say, I'm so brilliant, I have a 9.5 GPA. They're not going to take you in unless, somebody calls the big boss and says, hey, that's my son, please take him in.
You have to pull a few strings.
Obviously, you have to. And the problem when that happens is, those kids who come in are not properly equipped. I mean, they don't have the sufficient amount of knowledge to do an internship. So obviously, they're going to be taken for a ride.
Right. Does the fact that most internships don't really pay you a stipend or anything for that matter kind of worry you? Does that account for maybe a lack of motivation in a sense?
Well, motivation is a really relative thing here. It varies from one person to another. But when it comes to internship, to have a stipend is a bigger boost. It's definitely a higher motivation. But we as individuals who are just stepping out into college or from school or whatever, we're still trying out different things. So having an internship itself is a cool statement. It's a style statement of thoughts to say that you're working with this particular company. So it's more of the exposure that you gain, the kind of friends that you meet, the new people that you can make friends with, and the kind of networks that you build that are an extra motivation at our age rather than the money that comes in.
Okay, also a style statement in a
Yes,
sense.
definitely a style statement.
But
Does that apply only to the girls or is it also for the boys?
no, I'd like to disagree on the style
Why
statement
so?
part, because most people who just come for the internship just come there. You know, if it's from 9 to 5, stay there for 9 to 5. Yeah, I'm doing this.
And
that's
there
it.
they're very punctual as
Yeah, they're
compared
just-
to college life, right?
Yeah, they just come there. I mean, it's just for the name. They don't really care about if it's a style statement or whatever it is. It's just come there.
So they do it for the sake of doing it.
Yeah, so that you get the certificate in the end. I mean,
So it finally boils down to those log sheets and that internship report that you finally need.
sadly
to
it does.
college.
It does become like that.
Okay.
Because you have to take it in a sense where you have to learn something out of it. So just going there for a certificate is actually a waste of your time and the company's time also.
But whose fault is it then? Is it our fault,
It's-
or is it the company's fault, which really doesn't force you to do stuff then?
It depends on, I think, what you're interested in. If you're going for a technical internship, which actually counts in your CV, it's probably going to be like how Arjun said it is. I mean, like you're going to do it as a job and you'll do it only for those log sheets, as you said.
Right.
But if you're going for the NGO or something, it's probably because you're interested in that. And there you're looking more at the experience that you get out of it than the stipend. You're probably like, if for example you're interested in medicine and you want to work with HIV/AIDS affected people, then you're going there so that you can see what it's at the root level, how things are.
Right. So, but that's again another industry altogether. That's
Yeah.
like a service-based
Yeah.
industry, right? So, taking off from where he left off, if not getting paid all that much, then will you consider experience itself as a kind of payment? I mean,
Yes.
that kind of rich experience that you get.
Yeah, because everything depends on you taking it voluntarily. If you voluntarily want to learn something out of the college and get a practical experience, so it's voluntary. If you want to do it, you would do it, and if it's forced upon you, and if it's not forced upon you, it's volunteer. So if you want to do it, you do it you do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it should come out of your own will, and perhaps then choose what you really want to do, not just choose for the sake of choosing a company that seems to be a cool company in the eyes of others, right? Now that we've discussed some of the difficulties and some of the problems with a lot of youngsters today when it comes to internship, let's look at the good part of it all. So there's so much that you really enjoy and you really enrich yourself with the good, the bad and the ugly. All of that coming up on the second segment of this episode. Do stay with us.